okay, what lift kit should you run and why? My personal thoughts, you should run the lift kit that one you can afford, and two, the one that you want. So I think the problem with the Jeep community is a lot of people get caught up in branding. And it's just like when people look at Prada and Gucci and all these high end brands, right? It's like, oh, well, you shop at Target, so you must be poor, right? There's a stigma that comes along with it. Well, if you're going to buy this brand, then you don't have the money to actually do this and you shouldn't be doing it. No, some people just don't want to spend that kind of money and they shouldn't be shamed into not wanting to spend more money than what they need. I run one of the more affordable lift kits out there, my vehicle and my wife's vehicle, and we've never had an issue with the lift kit at all with any of the components, and it's held up just fine. And I've been able to go down the trails and do everything I've asked my vehicles to do. It's not like you spend $6,000 or $7,000 on a lift kit, then all of a sudden your vehicle is more capable than the other person's next to you because your 4-inch lift kit cost you 6,000, but their 4-inch lift kit cost them 2,000. So now yours is going to be able to go places that theirs can't. It just doesn't work that way. And I think a lot of problems is people they just do brand flashing and it's just flashing their cash. Like how much money do you have? Well, if you want to off road, you have to off road correctly. If you're going to do it, you need to do it right, and you need to spend the money on it the first time correctly. That's not always the case. A stock Jeep is very capable of doing some really crazy, amazing things with just the right pair of tires. So if you want to go from a 32, 33-inch tire to a 34, 35 and do a spring spacer or do a spring lift or do a affordable 2 to 3 inch lift kit, there's no reason why you should have to go and spend $1,800 on a lift you could get for $400 or $500. I just don't see the point of it. Like there's a lot of vehicles out there that have a lot of money put into them that don't even take their vehicles off roading or push them to what they're even capable of doing before they drop all this money into it. And they drop even more money into it and just like, do you even use it? And you look at what they do or you see the off-roading they do and it's like, dude, you could have got away with a $400 lift kit or a $500 lift kit or even no lift kit and just tires. Like the stuff you're doing is not even, it doesn't require a whole lot of modifications to do what it is that you're wanting to do. So you need to ask yourself what kind of off-roading are you wanting to do, where you wanting to off-road at, and what you want your vehicle to be capable of doing. And then from there, that's when you pick your lift kit. And it doesn't matter if it's a high-end lift or a more affordable lift kit. You pick the one that you want to run for the reason you want to run it, whether it's financial or just because you don't want to spend that much money. And if you have the money to spend and you want to spend it, then spend it. Like I know a person who spent almost $3,000 on their 3.5-inch lift kit, and their vehicle is no more capable than my wife's with her 3.5-inch lift kit, and we spent 550 on her lift kit, and it's no more capable than what hers is. And we go down lots of stuff and lots of vehicles. I've off-roaded with people that their lift kits were $7,000, and then they did all this work to their vehicles, and then there was no difference in the trails that we did or what their vehicles were capable. It's not like all of a sudden they could climb this wall and I couldn't. The bigger issue would be your traction from your lockers. If you want more out of your vehicle, you should spend money on your lockers. But as far as it goes for lift kit, it just depends on how much belly clearance you need and what size tire you want to run to be able to decide what lift kit. And I have a philosophy: if it's not broken, don't fix it. So when I buy my affordable lift kits, I don't upgrade nothing until they break. Because if the day never comes, I never have to spend a dollar on it and I can put that dollar into something else. And then also on top of that too, when I do upgrades, people talk about, well, if you upgrade this, you have to upgrade that. If you upgrade this, you have to upgrade that. Well, I don't do that either. I'll wait till something breaks and then I'll upgrade it because you never know what's going to actually give out and what's not. Because if I don't have to spend the extra money to fix something that's never going to break, I'm not going to spend the money. Just like the Dana 30 on my wife's JK. We run 38s with a Dana 30 and we've never had a problem with a Dana 30. We've never put any money into it besides changing the gears out to 513s. So that's one of those things. Like a lot of people talk about, if you want to do it, you need to do it right the first time. But no, if you want to go wheeling and you have a scratch and the mountains are calling and you want to go off roading and rock crawling and mudding or whatever, do what you can do to get you out there. And that's buying a $200 spring spacer kit or buying a $400 spring lift kit. Buy that lift, get your tires, and go hit the trails, because off-roading with open differentials with minimal size tires will get you way more experience and learn way more about your rig and its capabilities before you jump to the high-end stuff. If you jump to long arm kits and 39-inch tires and you don't even know how to wheel your vehicle, well, you're not going to look very experienced out there, and you're going to have more flash and cash than you do experience. So getting out there with an affordable lift kit with modest tires and learning how to actually wheel your vehicle will make you way more experienced when it comes time to actually go bigger if you decide to go bigger. Like if you start getting an itch, like, this 2 inch with 33s or 34s was fun, but I kind of want to start hitting these kind of trails and these obstacles. So now I want to upgrade my vehicle. Now you could look at something a little bit more pricey or a little bit more expensive because now you know it's something you're going to do. And if you do decide to go with something more expensive, it doesn't mean you have to go with the highest end brand. But if you have the money to do it, do it. There's a lot of people out there that have the money, they just don't see the need to spend the money. So, but that's just my personal thoughts on it. For those of you wanting to get into it that are kind of a little nervous or you don't know where to go, where to start, just buy the one you can afford, buy the one that you want because you want it. And there's no reason to have to justify it to anybody else. You bought it for the reasons that you bought it, and that's the only reason that you need. And you don't have to explain it to nobody. If anyone tries giving you a hard time about it, just ignore them because at the end of the day, they're not paying your bills. You are.